Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. It is so good to be able to start off the semester. So many smiling faces. There's tons of new faces here as well. If your camera's off, go ahead and turn it on. We're all just one big happy community. We don't bite. You might see some new faces here on our team as well. And welcome to the spring 2021 semester. My name is Tyler Stanfield. I'm now the community fellow. Some of you might know me as the community program coordinator from last year, where we used to have Rocket Pitch every Friday, which was a lot of fun. And so I'm really excited to be able to kick off today with a welcome to our community. First things first, like I said, there's some new members here, and everyone on our team is essential. So if we could go around and introduce you all to our team members, I'd like to go ahead and start with the community team. I'm Tyler, community fellow. And then next we have.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm the community program coordinator, and I'm really excited to be here.
And then the communications team.
Hi, I'm Anna Grunike, and I'm the communications fellow, and I'm really excited for this first rocket pitch.
Hi, my name's JR, and I'm communications program coordinator, and I'm also really excited. This is my first rocket pitch that I'll be seeing.
And then we also have outreach.
Hi, I'm Savannah. I'm the outreach fellow, and I'm excited to see everyone here today.
I'm Amanda. I'm the outreach program coordinator, and thank you all for coming today for our kickoff event.
And then we have the tech team.
Hi, my name is Pablo. I'm your technology fellow, and I'm excited to be seeing lots of you for the first time.
And then we also have the operations team.
Hey guys, I'm with Ops. It's so good to see you guys. A lot of new faces here, which is awesome. And I'm also excited to get this thing going.
Hi everyone, I'm Melody and I'm the Operation Program Coordinator, and I can't wait to see what you guys have in store for today's rocket pitch.
Thank you all. And Sarah, sorry.
Hi, sorry guys, I had to step out of the room real quick. I'm Sarah Wicker, and I'm this year's Technology Program Coordinator. I'm a sophomore on campus.
Thank you all. There's one more program coordinator. She's in class right now, but she'll be on the call later, and we'll make sure that you can meet her and appreciate all the work that the team's been putting in to get the semester started off right, just for the community. It's truly an honor being here, and we love working with you guys. We love seeing the entrepreneurial spirit and mindset alive and thriving in our William Mary campus. Go Tribe. So that's our team. That's who we are. Feel free to reach out to us on a new platform, which is what we're going to talk about a little bit later. There's lots of exciting changes coming this semester. We've been hard at work over the break because we want to see innovation just take off. We want to see innovation operating at its maximum capacity this semester. Just because we're virtual doesn't mean that the ideas stop flowing. If anything, there's been time for more ideas. And that's why we have events that highlight that. And so some of the events we have this semester are Alumni Founders Series, Rocket Pitch, and a few more exciting changes coming. But I'm going to hand it over to Savannah to talk about AFS.
Yeah, so we have a lot of really exciting alumni from lots of different industries joining us for the Alumni Founder Series this semester. And so if you don't know what the Alumni Founder Series is, it's basically a series of conversations with alumni who have pioneered their own venture, and it's just a chance to connect with them and ask them questions and discuss their journey moving from the halls of William and Mary to the world of entrepreneurship. So it's always a good time. It's always a good way to connect and see other students on campus who are interested in the same industries as you. And so our first AFS is coming up on February 18th with Yael Kaufman, who is the founder of Learn In. So stay tuned for some information coming up about that next week.
Thank you, Savannah. I hope to see everyone here there again. It's another great community session, and we all get some great information out of it. And you get to meet alumni. Like, it's a win on all fronts. And another event that we have is Rocket Pitch, which you're all here for. But I'm still going to let Sarah talk a little bit about the event, give a brief overview for anyone that's new here.
Yeah, so hi everyone. I'm going to be hosting Rocket Pitch this semester, so I'm very excited for that. But overall, Rocket Pitch is just an opportunity for students to share their ideas and give a fast-paced 2-minute pitch, and then we make a little competition out of it. So it's something that's supposed to be really fun, but just to get great feedback from great coaches and administrators. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that in a little bit.
Thank you, Sarah. It's a great time. You also, and like she mentioned, you get to meet coaches. We're here to guide you, not us as the team, but we as in the coaches who have had years and years of actual real world experience. They've seen it all. You name it, they've done it. And if they haven't done it, they definitely know someone that has. So get connected, get to know the coaches. They're here to see you grow. They want to see you grow. And that's why they have their office hours and they're available as resources for you to connect with and learn from. So take advantage of that. And other things that we have coming up this semester is the game. Now, the game's been around. You might have heard about it, you might not have, but it is here. And it is here to stay. And we're going to have fun this semester. You might be wondering, how do you have a game at an entrepreneurship center? Don't you just show up to events and don't you just hear people talk and talk about becoming the next Elon Musk? No. We have a game. You participate in this game the moment you become a member. And you can start earning points by giving feedback on events, talking in our new platform, which is still coming up, keeping it a surprise a little bit longer, attending events such as Rocket Pitch Alumni Founders Series. We're going to have game nights, and we're going to also encourage you to pitch at Rocket Pitch, meet with a mentor, or even take a LinkedIn learning course. Sharpen your skill set, become a better person, become more well-rounded, develop those skills, and it'll take you even further. And aside from taking you further, all those activities will earn you points in our game. The grand prize for winning this game is you get to come to a Entrepreneurship Center hosted event where there will be very notable alumni. Some of you might have heard of the Virginia Beer Company. Some of the founders there were actually William & Mary alumni. They were students and they went on to start this great company. And they'll be there. There will be catered food. There will be beverages brought from the Virginia Beer Company, and it'll be a great time. There's something there for everybody. There'll also be other alumni there for you to meet, really get to know. You might see some of them throughout the course of our Alumni Founders Series, so stay posted because you never know when you might see these faces again. And if that's not enough for you, we'll get you well connected. If you have any great ideas that you really want to see developed and furthered, we're here to help further that, and what better place to do it than at the end of this game when we have our celebration. We'll make sure that you're connected with the alumni that you need to succeed and get the resources and support that you need. Now, in between this game, there's levels. There's level 1, level 2, and level 3. And if you don't think that you'll make it to the end, no worries. There's prizes for they're not participation prizes. You will be earning this. Have no doubt about it. You will be earning these prizes. At level 1, when you hit 500 points, you get a custom laser cut game token. It'll be designed by some maker spaces here on William & Mary's campus. They're super wonderful people and they do great things. They have great tools and it'll be really cool. And it'll be a nice little keepsake so that you can always remember the time that you had in the game. When you reach level 2, we'll be presenting you with an Entrepreneurship Center swag box. Have some stickers, water bottles, some free swag. Who doesn't like swag? And if that's not enough, you get a t-shirt, a custom t-shirt. It'll be on a yearly rotation. It'll have the game, the year, a cool design. And when people see your cool shirt, you'll just be like, sign up, become a member, earn it. And we really look forward to introducing that. Now, for the exciting change that's coming to the Entrepreneurship Center this semester, you might know Harry Potter. You might have watched the movies. You might have read the books. You might have known that William & Mary is one of the top-rated schools for Harry Potter fandoms. So why not bring Harry Potter into entrepreneurship? We're so glad to announce the house system has come to the Entrepreneurship Center. We cannot wait to sort you all into one of our 4 houses named after different constellations because we're shooting for the stars here, guys. There's House Pixis, House Columba, House Lyra, and House Aquila. And they're going to be part of the game this semester. So not only will you be able to meet some of your housemates and become closer with them throughout this semester and find your community of entrepreneurs, you'll be competing alongside of them against the other houses. Because what says entrepreneurship other than competition. Everybody wants to win. So in addition to the game prizes that you already can win as an individual, there will be house-based prizes as well. The highest scoring house, as determined by the point totals of their members, will be very excited to win house decorations at the Entrepreneurship Center for the entirety of the following semester. That's right. Your house will be claiming the Entrepreneurship Center as your space. It's your decorations. We'll work with you to get whatever you want to see, streamers, banners, you name it. Digital art, it'll be all over the place. So your house will be able to have that decoration set at the Entrepreneurship Center. In addition to that, we'll also be giving, if you reach 500 points and you're a member of the winning house, you'll also receive custom swag. So not just stickers from the game, or not just stickers that everyone gets for hitting level 1, but it'll be house-specific, makerspace designed stickers, tools, swag, you name it. And that's what I'm super excited to announce. Now, you might be wondering, Tyler, I've been a member for a while, like we're on Slack. How are you gonna introduce me to members in Slack? The good news is here, if you would look in the chat, there's going to be a link. And this link is the most fun thing that we have coming up this semester. It is none other than our Discord. The Entrepreneurship Center is now on Discord. If you're not familiar with Discord, it's a similar platform to Slack, but there's voice channels. So not only will you be able to talk about your ideas, but you'll be able to talk about your ideas. And you'll be able to connect with your house, connect with your housemates. There's different lounges set up. There's a quick tutorial when you get in there. It'll just take you through our community rules and encourage you to go ahead and introduce yourself in our general chat. We really want to get to know you, and we want other people to get to know you. We're all a community here. At the end of the day, we're all here to support each other as we learn and grow on this entrepreneurial journey. And before we close out the good news about the Discord, there is one more just key piece of information that just really tops us all off. The alumni. The alumni have always been here for us, and we're so grateful for all the time that they spare to be with us and to share their wonderful ideas with us, because they work full-time jobs. They didn't graduate and just say, man, I really want to, keep living my college life. No, they're out there, they're in the real world, getting real experience, but they're also dedicated to you guys, and they're dedicated to taking time out of their schedule to be with you and to get to know you and to help further your development as a college student. And the heads of the houses are some very, very special alumni to us. They've been part of the Entrepreneurship Center as we've grown each and every year. You might know them as Jake Wang, Greg Garnhart, Natalie Marcotulio, and Kent Rollins. They are very near and dear to us, and they've been promoted, you might say, to heads of these houses. So those fun activities I was talking about, the game nights, are going to be special nights that we can come together in the Discord and have some friendly competition amongst each other, some innovation challenges, and you'll be able to get to meet these alumni and hear about their journeys, hear about where the Entrepreneurship Center's been. And they have stories that they could tell you for hours. I mean, they're just phenomenal people. They've seen it all. They've been a student, and they're 20 still. So they're very close to us in terms of what they know. Like they're here to connect with you guys. They can't wait to meet you, and I hope you can't wait to meet them. So without further ado, thank you all. And Rachel has a few words that she'd like to share as well.
Hey, welcome everybody. This is like super exciting. We got to kick off. Just so y'all know, we've got a lot of folks on the line that come to us from all over the place. I see some economic development people, some Launchpad people, our coaches, and I'm just super excited, and faculty champions. I'm super excited that everybody's here today. And I can't wait to see how this semester pans out. I just want to say last semester rocket pitch, the final rocket pitch was so amazing. And it takes all of us coming together and contributing to our entrepreneurial ecosystem. And so thank you all for joining us today, and can't wait to see what the pitches are like today.
We're so excited to see the pitches, and so much good stuff coming this semester. And also, it wouldn't be a kickoff without hearing from the wonderful Graham Henshaw himself.
Well, I know we all want to get to the main event, and I'm excited to see Rocket Pitch start this season. But I just want to say thank you to everybody for showing up. You may hear us say a phrase throughout this semester, and that is the entrepreneurial movement. And we've been so excited over the last several years for this movement to grow and grow. And you are examples of that. When I logged on, I wrote down the number of participants that are in the meeting, and I have had to cross that out numerous times as more and more people come. And that is reminiscent of the entrepreneurial movement that has been underway on this campus. And I can't wait for you all to be a part of this chapter of the entrepreneurial movement. So I'm so excited that everyone's here. I'm even more excited to kick off this semester with the exciting new things that Tyler just shared. So welcome. We hope to see you and more people throughout the semester. So let's get started.
Thank you, Graham. Without further ado, here we go.
Hi, everyone. So we're going to get started with Rocket Pitch. Just to mention it again, I'm Sarah. I'll be your host. And I'm really excited you all are here. I know it's a Friday, but I'm really glad you guys all came out. I'm super excited to be hosting. And Rocket Pitch is one of the many events that we offer at the EC, and it's all part of our mission to enforce entrepreneurial thinking. And one of the most important aspects of Rocket Pitch is the audience. So if you're new here, if you're just an audience member today, we're still really excited to have you, and everyone has an opportunity to play a part. So if you're just here to cheer on the pitchers, provide feedback, and you get to vote. So a little bit about voting. You are only eligible to vote if you're a member or a coach. But if you're not a member, don't worry. Sign-up's really easy. Tyler will probably drop something in the chat where people can sign up that way. And then you'll have access to voting from there. The other thing we do ask is that you complete your voting form before we go into breakout rooms after all the pitchers are done. And if you're new to the EC and it's your first time watching Rocket Pitch, again, welcome. We love seeing new faces. That's what we're all about here at the EC. And there will be a prize at the end for the winner, which is pretty cool. But I also want to stress how important it is about the entrepreneurship. And even if you're just an audience member today, take this opportunity to develop new ideas and just learn from others. It's what we're all about. And before we get started, I just want to say a few thanks. So thanks to Ferguson for making this all possible. It would not be possible without them. I also want to shout out the coaches that are here today. We have Mike Deschner, Calherb Monell, Michelle King, and Jeff Rich. Thank you all for being here today. Some staff champions, Chris McCoy, Jim Oliver, Matt Aller, and Dennis Manos. Again, very grateful that you're all here today. So yeah, without further ado, just going to talk about the 4 aspects of a good rocket pitch, things we like to stress a lot. So the basic restrictions of a rocket pitch is it's 2 minutes. So you'll have 2 minutes to give your pitch. And then the 4 aspects are the problem, the market, current solutions, and your solution. So problem is just coming from all great products solve a problem. The market is just keeping in mind the outreach and who's infected, who's involved, all of that. Evaluating competition is all part of the current solutions, just trying to figure out why your solution would be better. So then going into your solution, just telling us your idea, what you've done so far, or what you plan to do in the future. And again, it is 2 minutes. I'll give you about a 10-second buffer for the pitchers out there, but just know it is a competition. So I may mute you if it's over 2 minutes. But other than that, I think we're ready to get started. So the first pitcher we have today is John Garst. He's a senior. He's a computer science major, and he will be talking to us about Code for Real. So John, you should have sharing screen ability, and whenever you're ready, you can get started and I'll start the timer.
Okay, I don't need to share my screen, so I will just start. Coding interviews for software development positions are inefficient, and they're not representative of the skills actually required for the position. So there's a large market both on the interviewer and the interviewee sides, each with differently stated goals that come to the same solution. Interviewers want a testing platform that can help find the ideal candidate for a job by presenting a problem that requires coding to solve. Job seekers, on the other hand, want a platform that allows them to practice coding on problems similar to the ones they'll see in official interviews. Most companies currently use platforms like CoderByte or Qualified.io, which allow you to choose from a set of pre-made algorithms or data structures problem. Another solution more similar to my own is CodeScreen, which facilitates the interaction between a company and a candidate and automates the rollout of a more realistic test. The problem with this approach is that companies are still required to create the test themselves if they want it to be realistic, and candidates are expected to use resources local to their computer to solve the problem. My solution is called Code for Real, and it isn't just close to a real-world test, it is a real-world test. Code for Real works with companies to determine where in the legacy code base, past iterations of the code, not what's currently in production, are issues that are both reasonably solvable and would show the company that the person who solves that problem is a good candidate for hiring. Because these problems have already been solved by the company, we can compare the candidate solution to the final solution. To protect the privacy of a company's code, Code for Real works with the company to create a minimal reproduction of the code involved, removing what isn't important to that particular problem. This reproduction would then be hosted on a server by Code for Real, much like CoderByte and Qualified.io do, so that users do not need to rely so much on their own hardware. Software development job interviews have become the butt of jokes in the industry because all of the coding tests are wildly different from the job expectations. Job seekers and interviewers alike are looking for a better way to go, and that way to go is Code for Real. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, John. That was so good. Everyone give a round of applause. And now we're going to move right into the next pitcher. So next we have Nicholas Coffin. He's a junior business analytics major, and he will be talking to us about Careconnect. So Nicholas, whenever you're ready, let me know and I'll start the timer.
All right. I won't have to share my screen, so I could just get going. $2 billion sounds like a lot of money, right? What if I told you that in 2015, our healthcare system spent this amount on avoidable and unnecessary visits, treatments, and doctor's appointments? One of the major drivers of these costs is the burden of chronic disease management, where roughly 133 million Americans, over 40% of the population, live with some sort of chronic illness such as heart disease, asthma, or cancer. Currently, the management of these diseases is difficult as patients have to balance appointments, tracking of symptoms, and adherence to treatments, in addition to their other responsibilities in life. I myself have struggled with asthma since I was young, and I can promise you that this is not easy, and we need a tool that will help patients take control of their health in a way that is convenient, effective, and cost efficient. Currently, most patients manage their illness through direct visits with their physician. However, this is not always ideal because this periodic interaction can lead to gaps in care and confusion that lead to some of these avoidable costs incurred on patients and health systems. Additionally, digital platforms for care management, such as mHealth, were effective in streamlining post-operative care, but the population of people with chronic illness that would benefit most from this service has yet to be tapped. Careconnect is a chronic disease management platform that allows people living with chronic illness to manage and assess their health with regular survey check-ins that connect them to their physician. These periodic surveys will be delivered via text message or email, so they're easy and convenient to fill out, and include questions about taking medication correctly, assessing symptoms, and assessing the patient's risk. This information can then be used by the physician to allow them to continuously monitor their health outside the clinic and encourage more efficient use of visits and treatments when evidence suggests it is necessary. Putting monitoring and assessment tools in the hands of those with chronic illness gives them the ability to take greater control of their health while promoting efficiency, cost savings, and data integration for their providers, health systems, and self. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. That was really good. Again, round of applause. Great job. I just want to make a quick reminder before we move on to the third and final pitcher. It's always a good idea to keep your voting form open. And just a reminder, you can access that through the link that Tyler sent in the chat. So just keep up with your voting. So by the time we have to go to breakout rooms, you guys are all good to go. So now, finally, for our last pitcher, we have Nick Dancer-Ward. He's a junior, he's a government major, and he will be talking to us about Inhuman Fit.
Thanks, Sarah. So I'm not going to share my screen, but I'm wondering if I can post a link in the chat. Is that good?
Yeah, that should work.
Awesome. Okay. All right, then I'll kick this off, and you guys can view this as I talk, actually. All right. So last year, I actually met with a student who's now part of the program, who was looking at other universities, and William and Mary included, and said to me, "Nick, I'm looking for a different kind of fitness program. I'm not interested in just sports or the fitness clubs that are interested in looks, losing weight, building muscle. I'm looking for something different, something that brings to me a community of mental toughness, physical fitness, something that blends them both." And we were looking at the absence of these communities on campus. And I was wondering, is there a market for this? Is this something that students would want if I brought this to a larger audience? So I did some research and I found something surprising. Back in 2012, 15% of all participants in some of the toughest obstacle courses we know, things like Tough Mudder, Spartan Race, those were actually college age people, students like you and me, who are looking for something different, something that wasn't being offered to them in an accessible and affordable way. So I started in Human Fit. What is Inhuman? Inhuman brings to us the best of not just physical fitness, but also mental toughness, achieves that blend between something that we're all looking for and can't quite find, not on a traditional college campus like William and Mary. What I bring to students now is a free college plan, a free training plan that you can use every week. You get weekly check-ins. And after that, we can improve those volumes, improve the plans that you get every week so that you're constantly improving with a community that also is looking for new tests, new challenges. Every month, you get a monthly challenge, and we practice mental toughness together. It's all free, and the only thing that we use to monetize this business is merchandise, which is exclusive to members. So we can expand the business, but at the same time, bring this community to students. We're now expanding to CNU and hope to keep growing to other universities across the country. If you're interested, apply. We look forward to seeing you on the field.
All right. Thanks, Nick. So now we are done with all three of our pitches for the first event of the semester. So another round of applause just for everyone that went. So now I want to invite the coaches to give some feedback to our wonderful pitches. If I could just get like 1 to 2 coaches to speak on each pitcher, that would be great. So first up, let's open it up to discuss John Garst's pitch about Code for Real.
So I have a question, Sarah. So first of all, John, great pitch and a great idea. My question for you is, how much have you explored the competitive marketplace and have a handle on how many other platforms might exist and how difficult it might be to break into that space?
I have done a little bit. The answer is there are a whole bunch of testing platforms. The main difference between what they're offering and what I'm offering, and this was something that if I had 6 hours, I could tell you, but it's 2 minutes. The main difference is that the problems that they offer are what are called data structures and algorithms problems. And these are problems that you learn in school and then you never see again. And so for one of the things is that it's not something you're ever going to see. So it's not descriptive of what your job is actually going to be. And so it's not really it's not a great metric for hiring candidates. It kind of works because it shows who's got a certain type of thinking, but it's not great. That's the main difference between my solution and most others, because my solution is to work with the company's actual code base to find what is an actual problem that you actually solved and could demonstrate to you that the person who solves that is a good fit for your specific company. So that's not really an answer to your question, but it is kind of sidling up to it.
Thank you. And I assume that for those that maybe are more in touch with this marketplace, that at least from my involvement in interviews with coders and people on the tech side, that this isn't yet a real common practice in terms of some sort of an aptitude test to determine capability among coders. So I think it's a great idea, and one that, at least from my experience in hiring, haven't seen a lot of solutions offered.
I just want to quickly jump in. I forgot to say faculty and staff champions are also eligible to give feedback right now. So that would be Chris, Jim, Matt, Dennis, all you guys too. We'd love to hear what you have to say. So if we could get like one more Coach.
I would love to go ahead and jump in there. Congratulations, John, on kicking off the first Rocket Pitch. And I want to say, for a topic where you really have to be able to speak to a variety of audience members, being able to communicate that idea is very important. And I thought you did a great job on that. The content, the organization, and your delivery, you're very conversational. And so that held my interest. What would you say would be the highlight of your presentation? In 2 minutes, what do you think would be that takeaway, the highlight?
Well, I guess this is sort of a negative to me, actually. The highlight needed to be what Mr. Rich was asking me about, which was the difference between my solution and the current solutions. And the problem there is that it's a little difficult to go into what I was saying to him in a 2-minute pitch. So I guess the highlight is kind of what you're saying. The organization, I generally feel a little less organized and a little less like I have something thought through. So I think I did that pretty well in this particular pitch. I wrote it down and kind of outlined it a little better than I generally do. So that was good. But yes, I was a little disappointed that I didn't clearly communicate the difference between mine and the others, but I can work on that.
All right, now we are going to move on to feedback for Nicholas Coffin, and he talked about Careconnect.
Nicholas, I've got something to ask you. COVID has done a lot of interesting things to us. One of the things that it's done is expanded telemedicine, which seems to be a lot of what the core of what you were talking about is. It's also done some bad things in that it's kind of swung the other way. You're getting too many surveys from doctors, too many appointment reminders from doctors, too many surveys things from doctors. How would you plan to make your solution better than what is already out there being used by like Centaur and Riverside hospitals?
Yeah, so I think that's a great question and something that I spent time thinking about. I was actually inspired to come with this idea partially because after I received the COVID vaccine, I got a text every day for the whole month after, asking how I was doing, any side effects and things like that. And the way that I think to make it useful is to do a better job of communicating to these patients why participating in this survey is good for them. I think the appointment reminders and things like that are not as effective because it's more serving the physician, where I feel like my survey and my idea is putting more of that power in the patient to control their own health. And especially with, you mentioned telemedicine, I think this is a great way to kind of connect the new incoming digital age of healthcare with the in-person component that I think people will continue to crave with their physician in terms of trust. And this is because now people can monitor their healthcare in a way that's easy at home, but their physician will get all this data from them on a regular basis, whether it's once a week, once a month, a couple days a week, where then if they're seeing some kind of trend or response, they're able to then reach out and say, okay, there's something here that I think you need to come in and we need to talk about or address. And I think that will just help with the efficiency and access like I talked about.
Okay, great, thanks. It was a good pitch. It's interesting. I think you need to look a little bit more, as everybody does, into what's going on out there and how it's growing. There's been a lot of wearable technology feeds going in through Stanford and that in the medical community to gather these data and help people through different programs and things. So good job.
Thank you. Mr. Rich?
It was a great pitch, Nick. And I think, one of the things that occurred to me is I spent a few years in the healthcare industry working for United Health Group. And I think, as it was called out earlier, there's a lot of applications for patient management, revenue cycle management, for managing business operations. But what you stumbled on is what I think is still an unmet gap in this marketplace. And that is a physician's or a medical provider's ability to scale their communications to their patients, which is, I think, often cited as one of the lacking things in the patient-doctor relationship because they have limited time. So have you thought about, in terms of how you ultimately can best position this and what marketplace to go after, for example, small practices that may not be part of larger healthcare platforms might be a good market to pursue, but also maybe thinking about how you might reposition the solution to truly differentiate it and position it something like a CRM application in patient doctor healthcare management, where the communications that flow are things like you called out, surveys, wellness checks, that data back, or just increasing the engagement that the physician can have, which I assume would make patients have a better peace of mind. Better. So what are your thoughts around the specific market opportunities that you think represent the biggest opportunities?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a really good thought. I took some notes down. I think in the way I've been thinking about it, especially because I believe that this kind of survey would really help doctors improve quality and outcomes for their patients, especially those with chronic illness. I was thinking more of a big opportunity, and this is where I did some of my work this summer, was with accountable care organizations, in which they have the incentive to do actions like this to improve care, reduce readmission rate, and improve these patient outcomes. And so I think being able to implement these surveys into those systems is an extremely powerful opportunity, at least, especially for an ACO where, as I'm sure you know, reimbursement rates are not great from some of these public and private insurance companies. So if doctors have a way to be more efficient and collect this data out of the clinical setting, and in the same way kind of enhance their electronic health records, they should, and what I hope to look more into, is be able to use a lot more evidence-based insight to figure out what their patients really need and be more efficient in terms of how they're utilizing their resources and what they're offering to patients in the communities they serve.
Thank you again.
That was a great answer, and I really too much industry phrasing and specifics to articulate your ideas. That was a great job.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for that feedback. It's been great so far, so keep it up. Lastly, we're just going to open it up for the other Nick's pitch about Inhuman Fit, if there's any feedback for that.
Nicholas, I have a quick question. You said it was going to be monetized by buying merchandise.
Yes.
Is the idea just to have like a logoed store front, buy a t-shirt, buy a mug, buy a whatever, and
Well, that's,
you get that, then you become part of this free program forever and ever?
yeah. So actually, what I do now is try to offer the value first. To be a member, it's all free from the start. Basically, you just go through an application process. And what we look at is not the physical level, but more of that mental connection that you have to improve as an athlete, which we define as someone who's just willing to push those boundaries, to push their barriers. And if you're accepted in the program, then all the programming is free, including the community activities and all that stuff. The exception with the merchandise is that it's only available to currently accepted members. So we don't sell to people who are outside of this, and we don't try and make that our point of sale. Really, they're buying us first just by being part of the program, and then we sell that on the backside, and it works. The one issue is like, how do you get enough of the people who have pride in that brand to actually, to purchase that and then rep it? So that's still a monetization model that I'm working out.
Yeah. So it's really more about mental toughness than like a Peloton.
That's yeah. And in fact, that's actually where we get people to turn away, because a lot of the people think that we are a fitness club on campus and that we're just there to like look better and lose weight. That's really not what we're interested in. I push people to the point where they puke, and they push me to that point as well. And the reason why is just because we're more interested in that connection. That is vital for the success of this.
Sounds like the military would love it.
Yeah.
Great pitch.
No one else wanted to add. Could I add a little comment there too as well? Thank you, Nick, for your presentation.
Can I make a comment there?
Yes, please.
Can I take a second to just comment on the military? We have had numerous conversations with the local TRADOC group, which is the Training and Doctrine Command Group at Fort Eustis, and They are connected to the Army Holistic Health and Fitness Centers. And if you haven't yet looked at that group and looked at what their activity is, almost every word you said is directly in the core of what they're looking for. And if you're interested, I'd be happy to send you a contact and a connection, Colonel Kevin Bigelman, whose CV we have here. And I'd be happy to talk to you about that and send that to you. You might check in with them and see where they are in their pursuits. They're interested in everything from holistic wellness and the usual sorts of mindful meditation that Kelly Crace in the Wellness Center would do, all the way up through and including Delta Force training for mental endurance, which is, I think, what I heard you say. Thanks.
Yes, I would be very interested in that. I was actually RTC for a year, and now I'm in the Marine Corps, commissioning as an officer after I graduate. So I'm extremely interested.
I thought so. Drop me an email. I'm DMANOS, and I'm happy to send you this CV.
Will do. Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate that.
And I was just going to say, I grew up military, so some of the things you were saying, I echo what Dennis just said. I would tap into that, and he just gave you the great connection. Again, what the Rocket Pitch is about. Good job.
Thank you. Very much appreciated.
Mr. Aller, I see you have a hand raised. Did you have anything to say, or?
Yeah, I just had a question for Nicholas. So the idea that your revenue stream is entirely based on merchandise is interesting, and I really appreciate the thought that's gone into your website. Which I think is a kind of almost as informative or more informative than even the pitch. Like it's sort of integral to the pitch, but without any access to the merchandise, I wonder how that correlates to the big takeaway for you. I mean, otherwise it's sort of hard to, because if you're, I guess I'm still kind of looking for, how do I get motivated and excited to be a member for these exclusive rights of things if I don't know what those things are? Otherwise, I need to be excited about what you're saying, which is exciting, but it seems like it's a different goal. So I just wasn't quite able to make that connection yet. And I didn't know if that's something that's on your mind, or if something that is maybe I just didn't quite understand.
Yeah, that's a really great question, Matthew. It's actually something that I'm working through right now. My co-founder and I are actually working on trying to build out something to help us basically build that foundation, either like a Shopify storefront or a couple other vendors like that might help us kind of show some of that physical wear. Right now, what we do is after we have this point of commitment basically per member. It's usually after the first month or so, where we have a couple community challenges that they have to be, that go through and become indoctrinated basically. If they can make it through that, and we can see these are pretty consistent members, then we open them up to some of those merchandise options. We show them, hey, we're interested in not just having you as like an ambassador, that if you go to another school like CNU, this is how we found CNU. There was a kid from there who wanted to get involved. Then, we'd like you to rep this, and we'd like you to be a part of that. And he saw that and he's like, wow, I'd love to take this, because it's just not something you see out there in the world. So when members get excited, it's rare. It's never through the merchandise. They don't see it. It's something that I would like to fix. I would like that to be on the forefront. But right now, what we're banking off of is that want for something that's not really accessible right now, and that's a little bit more than just a club. So, but I completely agree. That's something that we're developing, and we hope to have that done in the next semester.
All right. I think we're ready to transition a little bit. I just want to explain quickly again the voting process. So Tyler will drop the link again in the chat. So basically with the form, you'll fill it out and then you will get an email with the voting form. So make sure to check that out and fill that out ideally before we go out into breakout rooms. And before I discuss breakout rooms, another one of our team members, she just joined the call. Her name is Neha. So I'll just let her say hi really quickly.
Hi, I'm Neha. I'm a sophomore here at William & Mary, and I'm an accounting major. I'm one of the communications programs coordinators. So I'm sending out those weekly emails that you guys see. So let me know if you have any questions.
Thanks, Neha. All right, so the way breakout rooms are going to work is we're going to have 3 breakout rooms, and I will put a pitcher in each breakout room, and then every 3 minutes or so, I will rotate those pitchers. So everyone will have the opportunity to give feedback. It's basically like a Q&A, anything goes. So questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, all of the above. This is the time to get more like personal, and really just ask any questions you have. So I'll get that set up and send you guys on your way. Yeah, but welcome back in the breakout rooms. I hope you guys had some great conversations. So I know you're all probably very anxious to hear the results of the competition, but before we do so, I just want to mention a few things. Very quickly, we have a ton of great events coming up at the EC in the coming weeks. The podcast is still up and running this semester, so day 1 is launching on Tuesday the 9th, so look out for that. We also have the Alumni Founder Series coming up on February 18th at 5:30. And of course, Rocket Pitch every Friday at 2 p.m. So super excited for all of that. Just also want to plug Discord again. I know Tyler did a great job of explaining it before, but really just don't be like, everyone should just join. Tyler just put the link in the chat. So like, I encourage you guys to just continue the conversation on Discord. There's a lot of great things you can do on there. So even just take time to like check it out. It's always a good idea. And along with Discord and other new things happening, the game and the new implementation of like the houses, really excited about that. So look out for more info on that. And yeah, so I guess we're ready to announce the winner, which is very exciting. So drum roll, please. The winner of first Rocket Pitch for this semester is pitcher number 1, John Garst with Code for Real. So congratulations. Thank you for everyone that pitched today. I had a great time. I hope y'all had a great time. Thank you so much for coming out. I think it was a great start to the semester, and I'm super excited for what we have in store. So yeah, thank you guys.
Great job today, Sarah. Awesome first Rocket Pitch. Big thank you to the coaches and the faculty and all of our champions. Thank you all so much for turning out today.
Hopefully we'll see everybody next week or in the game between now and then.
Yeah, and February 12th, we're actually skipping Rocket Pitch because it's spring break for the undergrads.
Not next week. That's right.
Every other week.
Hiatus. Prepare between this week and next. See y'all.